King Haas, we back. Bonus episode, 10 Toes Down podcast. Stress Gods in the building. What's up, fellas?
Yes,
How you doing?
How you doing?
We've been chopping it up behind the scenes. What's up, Keith?
Man,
So much information, right?
listen, we're gonna get into history because these brothers, they're the first generation of the land that we come from. So we just want to spread some positivity and give a little bit different perspective on how we should come together as a collective. It's very important.
Yeah.
This is like the starting, I don't know what other podcasts did it, but the starting to us coming together. No more I'm from Africa or I'm from the Caribbean or I'm Black American. We coming together as a unit. And that brings me to should we rename ourselves or whatever? Because we was niggerettes and colors and African American. I think we need to change it again. What we need to be?
Just melanated for now?
Melanated? All right.
That's not catchy enough, right?
We got to come up with a new name to call ourselves because this is the collective.
It seems like every 20 or 30 years, they change the term. They change the terminology.
We was niggerettes. We was colored.
You know what I'm saying?
My grand aunt had bastard on her. So.
But you know what's crazy? But you know who was the first person that came out with who started using the term African American, right?
Jesse Jackson.
Nah, it was Malcolm. Malcolm started using the term Afro American.
Okay, that's another conversation.
That's another conversation. When he was traveling overseas in '64, and when he went to Mecca, he was traveling throughout Africa. Okay. When he came back and started the OAU, he started using the term
in America,
Afro American. Yeah. Okay. Right. And then Jesse Jackson stole it just like he steals everything else.
Come on now, we put this.
Stop. Yeah, this is my opinion. This is not the Stress God's opinion. This is my opinion. You know what I mean? Don't put it on them. You know what I'm saying?
All right, this is gonna be a quick 5 minutes.
You know what I'm saying? But both of y'all, you know what I mean? You have family that comes from Africa. You have family that comes from the Caribbean. But y'all grew up here.
Yeah.
Why is it that there's a division? I'm gonna start with you, especially because me and my African brothers, we go back and forth at times or whatever. We disagree on certain things or whatever.
But don't worry about it. We eat food afterwards. We be good after.
I've had brothers, not everybody, but certain brothers come and say, well, you Black Americans, you guys kill each other, this, that, that. I'm like, yeah, that happens in Africa also. Like, unfortunately, or whatever, you know what I mean? We, our genocide when it comes to each other is happening worldwide. Or whatever, because of the plane that's been put before us and the environment that was created by the oppressors from those different areas or what have you. But at the end of the day, whatever what that guy do, you work with me now, or whatever. It's like a stigma. Yeah. I understand some of that stigma because, you did have a generation of people that came over here that a lot of Black Americans did, they were ignorant to and they disrespected, they shitted on, what have you. So I understand the need for in any culture or whatever, whether it's Black American, African, Chinese or whatever, when they first come here, they gonna stick to each other. The Italians did it.
That's right.
The Koreans do it. The Arabs do it, what have you. But why is it that at times from your perspective, because growing up in your household, and you probably went through certain things as well, the division between quote unquote so-called Black Americans and African brothers.
Different. It's very different. Like our outlook on life is not the same. Because
break that down.
Because how my people came here, like how my family came here. I'm the first person here with them. So I have to navigate. I have to have a serious perspective on how this world is, like kind of people I meet. So you can't trust everything. Like in America, your family, like your whole family's here. If you're born in America, all your family's in America. So it's a big community. I can't say, all my family not here. I got like maybe 2 aunts and uncle here.
Oh, yeah? Some is still in
They all there.
Oh, yeah?
They're in Africa.
Yeah.
So it's just a game of trust. Like, you're taught, like, they don't understand you. I don't understand them. But the upper hand is, I am you as well, but I'm also this.
Ashe.
It's like 2 people. I'm basically like 2 people.
Right.
But that's difficult for them to understand, and it's almost like a traditional, like I'd meet my Black friends and they would treat me differently, and I wouldn't understand why. because they don't know that. Until I got older and I realized that, oh, this is like, I'm not the same. Like, this is completely different. I can see the world in multiple ways. You can only see it in one
way.
It's a statistic though. Like somebody that's born from first generation people are usually smarter than others. The average person. Why? Because they're literally they see two different outlooks.
They're living in two different worlds.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Right.
So yeah, literally, it's like.
So what's your understanding of it? Because it's like, you know, from the Caribbean, it ain't too far, of course, to see anyway. You know what I'm saying? We can take a boat over there if you ask me.
I feel like the world, a lot of different parts of the world just thrive off negativity, and they love to divide people and try to tear groups apart. And I feel like a lot of things can be like understood with just a simple conversation.
Communication.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you this much.
One side doesn't know what's going on the other side.
I was about
It's
to
a
say
lot of that. It's
You know,
ignorance. It ain't none but
A lot of ignorance.
I tell you this much, because I'm a traveler and I encourage travel.
Yeah, that is the number one.
Talk to the people.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something. When I was a kid, when you hear like Africans or African names, you start saying African booty scratcher and lions and tigers and bears, right? And then when I got to high school, because I lived like in Harlem, so on 116th Street is a lot of Senegalese, you know? So I kind of like grew up with them a little bit. You know, we went to high school, whatever. And, you know, we became like a family, extended family, right?
But
We
that's
go
what
to the
makes New
mosque.
York. That's what makes New York
Very
special.
diverse, very right.
That's why New York is not like any other place.
Right. So we having dialogue, you know, and they would make funny, you know, comments and be like, yeah, you are Black Americans, y'all smoke crack too much, or y'all don't want to work. Y'all don't want to work.
Yeah.
I'm like, nigga, a crackhead even work out here. What are you like? Stop,
It's because-
Abdul, stop playing with me right now.
But there it is. This for foreigners, it's this. Even Jamaican people do it.
Right.
African people, but as being in
dumb
America,
Yankees.
it's confusion. They're trolling. It's like a joke, but it's gonna be coming off offensive because
Right.
it's true.
Oh, it was offensive, all right. So now I go to Africa, and this guy don't speak a nick of English, and he's like, "Yeah, you Americans, you don't lazy. You Americans, you lazy, right?" And I go to a lot of lectures. So I went to this lecture with David Banner and Umar Johnson, and David Banner said, "I stopped rapping and stuff, man, because I was traveling, and everywhere I went in the world, there's always this perception about Black people, like they put in this propaganda out. You know what I mean? This propaganda." Yeah. And so I started to have my own experiences, and I realized that in Africa, they're telling them bad stuff about us, and over here, they telling us bad stuff about them. And they didn't want no connection. It was clear as day to me when I had that aha moment, like, you know, this is what it is. They've been telling us all kind of bad stuff in Africa. I remember I was at the African restaurant. I was ordering some dibby, and my friend Abdul was over there fake crying. I call him fake crying. He always fake crying. He looking at the TV, and they're showing like lions and like showing like the safari and all that. And he said, "This is what they showing you over here. I never seen a lion in my life." And I'm like, yeah. And you know, and same thing over here. You don't see there are some Black people that get up and go to work. He was like, "Yeah, I do." All right then. So we had to come to like some understanding that everywhere there's good and there's bad, but there is something that's putting negativity out there so that we don't connect.
No,
we don't connect.
It's because here, when you come here, you see American people. For an African person or even a Caribbean to come here, but let's say the Caribbeans is not as hard, but it's still difficult.
No, it's difficult.
To come from Africa, you gotta go across the Atlantic
Right.
to come here. So they only come in here to be great.
Right.
So anything that they see, it's not that they're trolling. It's they're perfectionist. They take religion serious. They take everything very serious in Africa. It's like they're going at the purest form of it. When you come here and you see any remote something that don't even look slightly serious, they're gonna say you're not serious.
Right. But there's a back history behind that too.
No, it's physically what it's not a back history. It's because they came from somewhere and they know they came here intentionally.
Right. I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is we did the hard work in the 20s and the 60s and the 30s.
But they work hard work
rubbing our bones
but
together.
they never stopped.
Right. What do you mean?
In Africa, they never stop doing that hard work.
No, but when they come here, some of them understand, like, damn, am I going to work like a slave or am I trying to live a little longer? It's the American culture.
They come here, they know that their intention to come here is work to give back home. America is here, you're just here. That's the difference. It's the art of what you just said is traveling. The perspective is they see this, they come here and they see. My mama came here and she was making $5 an hour.
You understand the Mexicans, we had that part where we came here and we worked our asses off, but then y'all didn't have to go through the crack cocaine. Y'all didn't have to go through the Jim
We in the
Crow.
community with you. We just know why we came here, so the crack is not appetizing us.
Like they escaping war.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I know a couple of crackhead Africans.
But that's a
It's the American thing. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Because
the culture, the American culture. Anyway,
there it is. It's the discipline.
yes,
It's discipline. They're here with intention. It's to profit and go back.
right.
In America, they say, "Oh, I'm gonna hit the crack. Let me see." Like it's there. It's in front of you. And the thing is, it's not their fault that the crack even here. Like that's a whole nother game.
It's a whole nother game.
Like you see it. You in the you said it in the masjid. These people not even paying attention to what's going on outside. They're there to go do what they want to do. It's like I can always say, like, foreigners come here with the intention. People born here, white man, black man, they just know here.
Yeah.
It's not that they didn't do the hard work. Everyone is coming here because they want to go back. The people who come here want to go back. They ain't tell you, I'm trying to stay here.
Right.
People that are here, they're born here, so they don't know until they do what you did and open up and be like, but you Jamaican, so you get that.
No, I get it. My
But
father
until you open
definitely.
up, like a traditional American person open up, it's wisdom, the travel, like it's all about the wisdom.
Right.
Because they're very shielded up because they think they know. They see something that looks foreign to them, just like
I totally get what you're saying. I just think of it a different perspective a little bit because I just told you that like there's a whole gang and it's the African gang.
Yeah.
You look surprised about that. So what I'm trying to say is that a lot of them still stick to what it was, but then some fall into this pot of the craziness that's going on, and then you realize this is an American thing that's happening, set for everybody to most people to fail. No matter what.
But let's go back to what you say is ignorance on top of ignorance.
Yeah, they just piling compacts in.
With those brothers that's doing that, a lot of those brothers are ignorant because it's kind of like
that's their way out to them.
Yeah, for the American Negro, you know what I'm trying to say? It's kind of like a lot of us was forced into it. A lot of us just grew up in it. And a lot of times we might have shunned our African brothers or to the point where they felt like they had no choice but to fit into what we were doing.
I went through it. It was like
in order to survive.
Then I realized that now I'm a creative. I would never conform to what y'all doing. That don't make no sense.
Like I know a brother right now, I'm not gonna say his name, but wallahi, it's a true story. I remember us going to school with the brother, and they was calling him African booty scratcher. They would jump at him every single day. He was fighting every single day.
Yep, I had to do that.
This brother, as he got older, and I guess, because, his dad was around his mother, but his mother don't really talk English. He got mother, got his mother, he got 2 or 3 kids. No. She got 2 or 3 kids, but he's the oldest. So, he's got to make sure that, his sisters and brothers is good. So he gets older, he moving a little different. That boy a killer. He in prison right now doing a 20-year bid.
Who, the African guy?
The African guy, what happened?
Let me ask you a question. In the midst of him getting jumped, was other students fighting each other in that? Because I just think that we all grew up in this toxic world.
Yeah.
We was taught that not all of us. Let me phrase that. Not all of us.
Most.
But some of us were go back to what I think you said it where how you might say I don't remember, but over there they're taught that we're scumbags over here, and over here we're taught that not realizing that those are our brothers, those are our sisters.
They never taught us that though. Nobody ever told us that the American people. That's why we came here.
Oh no, the Black American.
No, because you see them. It's not these people are telling you from what they see because how they're being treated.
No.
African people don't. No foreigner gives you prejudgment. It's just like it's a fact. A foreigner is not going to give you that. You got to show them what you're doing.
No, I got prejudgment. I was in Africa.
Of course.
Yeah, he said I ain't working. I ain't never used no
But
drugs.
that's a banter. That's basically a joke, you know? Like
No. He was serious. He was very serious. I had to ask the guy to interpret why did he say that.
That thin line.
Yeah.
It's definitely a thin line.
One culture might think that's a joke, but if a lot of people are saying the same thing, you still end up getting that
Of course.
same result of
No, it wasn't
all
that.
Africans or all African Americans are lazy. Because I grew up hearing that. And I'm like,
No.
Bro,
It wasn't a joke. He said it that you don't work, and I said, why do you think we don't work? Like I had to have the conversation because you never
I
know.
heard that growing up.
And he wasn't-
again, it looks like, bro,
But
why you
this nigga
categorizing-
because of how
I
they
said,
put
have you been to
But that's
America?
their perception of
But-
how African Americans are.
I'm telling
You still
you,
put that perception on everybody.
But let's keep it real. Like,
that's
when most brothers from the Caribbean.
gonna come out and say all
But I was African. I was in Africa. I wasn't in. I was in Africa.
See, when most brothers from the Caribbean, most brothers and sisters, my bad,
work hard.
from the Caribbean and from Africa come over here, they're going to the worst. They're moving into the worst of the ghettos most of the time.
So
or
they're
whatever.
not seeing the good stuff.
So they're not seeing the good part or the us that's successful by doing the right thing or what have you. They're going to the worst of the worst.
Let me-
So when you when you go to any slum, guess
gonna
what?
be like that.
You're gonna get the worst of the worst people.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you don't have a broader mind, you're gonna think, oh, they must all be like this. They must all act like that or whatever.
Can I say something?
Mhm.
Influence of America is very impactful.
It's foul.
It's
Yeah.
the
I
world.
tell you, I was in Africa, right? Now remember, some of the sisters were wearing the hijab; they were covering themselves. I kid you not. I was in Africa. I can't express this anymore. They wearing piercings. They're sneaking and talking to guys in the corner. So the influence of this country in the Western civilized culture is very impactful. I can't express this enough for somebody who travel. I'm not saying this.
Hey, but it go far
watching
back to
TV.
just the black culture. It's the number one.
But
like
that's-
we are one thing. African people, black people are African people. That's it.
That's right.
It's just you can't. Ain't no other way to paint the picture. You
I think
African
you sum
person.
it up there.
That's it.
Yeah.
African.
Yo, one.
Anything of this colorway is
we
the
gotta
right
go
way. You know what I mean?
back.
Like if you study Malcolm X, right? When Malcolm left the nation and he started building with different African dignitaries. That's why they really killed him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They want you to think it was something with
Back.
the nation, all that stuff.
Back home.
He's building with different African
You see when Muhammad
dignitaries.
Ali went there.
Yeah.
When Muhammad Ali did, he was telling you stuff you would be. You can see it in documentaries. I mean, once he went there, he started telling you stuff.
Malcolm was trying to bring us together. He's trying to bring us from both sides together.
I tell you?
He's going over there telling them, no, those are your brothers
I'm home.
over there in America, and they're suffering and they're going through it. He's coming over here, back over here, saying, yo, we need them.
Yeah.
We can't go to
That's
we
it.
can't
But
do
you
it
see
without
that?
them.
Every person, just like I observed when I went over there, it's just something like they know when we go back home, ain't no crack over there.
And that's why they killed Malcolm, because he was putting that together.
Stimulate our mind, and we're gonna come together and come back.
And that's what it needs to be. It needs to just change.
That's what we have to do.
Foreign exchange program for people from there. Just bring people back,
Mm-hmm.
and it's that. Once we do that, once we can share the cultures, that's it. You realize that anytime, it's an understanding. That's all it is.
Exactly. I agree. That's a good analogy. I agree with that.
Culture. That's it.
So, you know what I mean? On that note, it was a dope conversation. We should record more of this stuff behind the scenes that we had, man. But nah, man, we appreciate you guys.
Thank you for having us.
You know what I mean? We got some dope content done today, man. Once again, let them know where to find the
Stress Guys.
Stress Guys on all platforms.
There you go.
StressGuy.com. Go check it out.
We thank you all for the time.
Let's get to the money. 10 toes down.
So I appreciate that. That was a